Hi, I'm Lisa Whalen. I'm with the Intelligent Mobility team at Frost & Sullivan. I'm here with my colleague Vishwas Shankar, and we are wrapping up a fantastic kickoff week for the North American International Auto Show, where we saw over 30 launches from over 20 different OEMs, and we see about 5 major themes emerging from the show. The first key theme that we see is around luxury and flagship vehicles in the marketplace, really showing the high-end focus from the OEMs. Vishwas, what do you think about that?
I agree with you, Lisa. And a number of OEMs have shown their models. For instance, we saw Genesis unveil their G90. We saw Volvo talk about their S90 on top of their XC90 crossover. We saw about overall 7 vehicles that were launched around this particular theme of flagships itself. And I think there's a huge impact to the US market because of this. We see new nameplates, legacy nameplates like Continental coming in there. We also see choice of more than one powertrain, more than one body style to some of these nameplates. Yeah, it's an interesting theme definitely that would continue into the next years as well.
Another theme that we saw definitely focused around trucks, crossovers, SUVs, pickups, and the like, and even minivans with the first announcement from Chrysler at the beginning of the show this week. Vishwas?
Yeah, that's another point that a lot of these OEMs have taken into 2016. This is a big run from 2015 where we saw the oil prices going all-time low, including the day when the auto show opened, it crashed to $30 per barrel. So we saw a number of these OEMs taking that route to launch more new models. Also big cars means big trucks means big money, which means that they would also keep an eye on profitability in this particular case. Definitely we saw about 9 key models, and a lot of these OEMs are trying to also get into white space attack. For instance, Buick clearly found out with respect to the Envision, which is the first Chinese-made vehicle from their stable, targeting one of those vehicles within the segments between the Encore and the Enclave here. A number of these other OEMs are also trying to get into new territories with their performance. For instance, BMW trying to come with performance coupe kind of styling in their SUV badging. So that's an interesting theme as well, I would say, in this particular auto show.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Vishwas. A third very key theme is this white space opportunity. We do see a lot of movement for manufacturers trying to get their fair share of emerging segments within the market space and trying to cover any white spaces that are potentially available. Another theme that we saw was electrification.
Definitely. Electrification in the long term is something a lot of these OEMs are trying to keep eye on. Electrification is also not just about EV products anymore, but also getting a step closer into the mobility side of their business, where we saw the likes of Chevrolet unveiled their Bolt, which is a production-ready version of the model itself. And also last week when CES wrapped up, we saw that we heard announcements about the Bolt and the Chevrolet brand trying to kind of partner with Lyft, which is in the ride-sharing business. So EVs are kind of playing an important role with respect to how new partnerships would be forged in the future, with respect to how OEMs would be not just talking about CAFE or fuel efficiency with respect to electrification or driving range, but also getting into a space where mobility as an important part of the business would be considered with respect to these models as well.
Yeah. Speaking of propulsion, another really key theme that we saw was turbocharging, to put it on the other side of the powertrain spectrum. Yeah, so that's a very exciting topic, of course. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say at least 1 in 3 models that were at the show definitely had a lot of turbocharged engines and supercharged engines. Some of them even had like huge twin turbo engines from the likes of Mercedes. I would say turbocharging is definitely something which is a boost performance that OEMs are looking for in an era where everything is going down with respect to weight or with respect to cost, to keep an eye on CAFE. But definitely turbocharging is also important because what are some of the big themes that you can target after you have hit the sweet spots is giving more performance or more sportiness to these vehicles, and turbocharging is definitely a way forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in summary, we've seen a lot of great products, really interesting technologies, especially around automated driving and the like, interesting propulsion types. So quite a assortment of very, very exciting attractions at the show this week. Frost & Sullivan's Intelligent Mobility team has put together a comprehensive report on the North American International Auto Show, and we'd like to direct your attention to find further details, and you can look here.